was the best game ever. The traps and riddles were so clever, and hardly any of our party even died.
Welcome to RPG Anthology. My name is Jonah Knight. We are a part of the Actual Story Podcasting Network. You can learn more about that over at actualstorypodcasting.com. Our current arc here is based on the game Escape From Dino Island, written by Sam Tung and Sam Roberts. You can pick up the game over at itch.io. There's a link in the show notes. You can also just Google it. It's easy to find. In this episode, characters make their first attempt at escaping. We'll see how that goes. In May, Actual Story is starting a Patreon. Right now we have 5 shows and 3 more in different stages of recording. Some of them are done recording. And all of that, plus 64 episodes of a show that is not available anywhere else, will be available on the Patreon. You will also be able to, if you like, be able to play one of these arcs with us. If that is interesting to you, maybe check that out end of May or so. Our theme song is Best Game Ever by Mikey Mason. Go on over to mikeymason.com and show him a little bit of love. Okay? Okay, let's go.
My name's Josh Fisher. I am playing Bolts, the engineer. You can find all of my work at oneuppodcasts.com. I have a D&D podcast and a history podcast and a therapy podcast, so pick your poison.
Hello, my name is Willow Wilson. I am playing the character known as Constance, and you can find me at Ensorcelled Pod, RPG, Harry Potter-esque podcast, and it's really cool. Check out Ensorcelled.
Hi, my name's Ty. I'm playing Gabriel Acosta, and you could find me at @the_Fierce King on Twitter.
Hi, my name's Alexandria Bell. I'm playing the kid, Eliza Harper, and you can find me on social media as Eliza Hammer, a professional wrestler for all your professional wrestling needs.
I would definitely like to keep running for the truck. I see this monstrosity, this beast I'm not quite sure of. Best case scenario, if it doesn't move, I'm at least in some kind of metal to protect me.
Yeah, so this is one of those, these old Liberty trucks have the canvas covering over the back.
Oh, no.
And this is, so the cab itself is metal.
Gotcha.
And as both of you get there, you can't quite see what's in the back. Though it does look like this canvas is pretty secured. It has not been attacked and torn up or anything like that.
Okay, I would definitely like to get into the cabin. I'm running towards the left side, right? So I'm on the driver's side, essentially. Can I run in and open the door and get into the cabin just to be safe from this monster beast?
Yeah, you're aiming right towards the driver's side door.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is unlocked, and you can get in. Bolts, where are you? You see where Doc is headed.
Yeah, I'm a little less fit than Doc, so I'm right behind him, but not too close. I see him go for the driver door and just make for the passenger seat. God, accent's all messed up. Sorry.
Yeah. So, like, circling around to the other side?
Oh, no. Dukes of Hazzard style.
Oh.
Over the
hood?
Over the hood.
Yeah, you can give that. I'm not going to have you roll. It's not super smooth, but maybe it cut, like, a second and a half off of your time.
And I'll try and get in the passenger seat.
Yeah. So, Doc, you've gotten into the seat. And maybe the first thing that you notice is that the keys are not in the ignition.
Oh, no. I shut the door because that's the second thing I've done when I got in there.
Sure.
Are the windows rolled up?
They had been cracked, but it looks like you can roll them up.
Gotcha. I wind the windows up, at least on my side. Bolts, can you get your window doors shut and windows rolled?
You got it, partner.
And then there's no keys. Bolt, do you see keys? I'll start to
Yeah, like
just
check the visor.
Yeah, I check my visor as well. Look underneath the floorboard if I can look at that floorboard, the floor mat, to see if there's any hopefully keys somewhere.
Neither of you find keys, but you do find on the dashboard a notebook and a pen that was stuck into the metal spiral binding. So there's a notebook there. There's a pen there. There are no keys. It looks like there wasn't much else in this cab.
Gotcha. I guess I opened the notebook. I mean, there's nothing else. Maybe there's a way to start it. I don't know.
Is there enough room for me to duck under the driving apparatus and see if I could hotwire it like some kind of 1987 movie star?
I think that you are qualified to hotwire a truck. The two of you are going to have to shift places, though. You'll probably have to get into the driver's side.
Gotcha. I will shimmy right on over Bolts and let him slide on through.
To do your hot wiring, what is your move?
Well, I would think it would fall. So I have my special move of jury rig.
Yeah.
I think that would work.
Let's see.
Gotcha.
Roll plus clever.
Oh, that's not good. That is a. Oh, wait, that's a 10.
Yeah. All right.
It'll do the trick.
Yeah. These wires fall right out when you're under there, and this is going to take not too long. You'll still have it done before this giant creature gets to you, but it does take long enough for Doc to open up the notebook, flip through a few pages, and see that it's in a language that is not one of the ones that you speak. How about you just roll clever to see, just a straight clever roll to see if you can identify the language and maybe even make out a couple of words.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's go. I rolled a total of 8.
With an 8, you can tell that this is German. There are maybe 24 pages with writing. It doesn't look like it's orderly notes or instructions. This is not an official document. It looks like somebody was just writing and their language happened to be German. And on one of the pages, there was a little sketch that looks like it might be this island.
So I'm able to see the island, or at least what might be the island. Is there any marking perchance on where we might be?
Yeah, you can sort of guess that in the middle of this rough drawing of the island is a long rectangular space with some words next to it. So perhaps that is where your airplane crashed. And away from the space, it looks like there's a very crude road that might be this road that you're on.
If I follow what looks like to be a map in front of me, does the road go north or south or east or west?
It's north-south.
Okay.
The plane flew in roughly north. So that little bit of direction sense gives you the thought that there's some little squares that might have been the buildings that you flew over right when the plane came over the island. And if you go south on this drawn road, it looks like the mountain that, I'm not sure if you saw it, but someone else saw it as you approached.
Yeah, I don't think I looked out the window. I think I was more terrified than curious. So if I head north, we'll go back towards the buildings that we passed through or flew over?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Constance and Eliza. You saw both of these guys make it into this truck. And one of these giant creatures is sort of slowly moving in their direction, almost as though it's curious as to what they're up to. It doesn't seem like it's trying to charge and destroy them. And you still hear the Russians every once in a while yelling something out, moving around. It doesn't look like these creatures have actively tried to attack them. They're more circling and making noises, looking like they're trying to frighten them off, not necessarily trying to eat them.
I wonder if I could do the look over there move. Look over there move. Sorry, my accent is kicking in a weird way. But I mean, if there's a bunch of shouting and gunfire, I don't know if the sound of a single pebble hitting a tree would cause the dinosaur to look the other way.
The one that is going after them?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can try that. What are you going to try to do to get there? It's not super close to you, but if you can come up with something, and a well thrown rock at the airplane, again, might make a noise that gets its attention.
I suppose I will take out my sling, get a pebble loaded, and launch it at the airplane. See what happens.
Yeah, plus clever.
That is an 8.
It's it's a well aimed shot. This stone takes off, just fires right out of your sling and collides right along the side of the airplane. And this creature that was advancing on the Liberty truck sort of stops and looks around. In order for you to have made this great bullseye shot, you did sort of have to sneak out of the cover of the tree so that you would have full arm motion. And as you duck back in, Eliza, you notice that the strange creature, no one has said the word dinosaur yet, seems to have noticed Constance's movement.
I just kind of whisper to Miss Constance, I think it's looking at us.
I suppose it is. I do not think it would be a good idea to just run immediately. It might spook it into approaching more. I do not want to endanger Eliza by receding back into the same place where she is. This is plus clever.
To hide, yes.
Yeah, that is also an 8.
Eliza, Constance is encouraging the both of you to find a new spot to hide. What are you doing?
I'm trying to hide. And I rolled a 6.
So, Constance, you find a way to sneak out of this tree on the opposite side, so maybe the creature doesn't see the direction that you're going. And Eliza's right behind you. You see some shrubbery up ahead that might be another place to throw it off its scent. And as you get there, the shrubbery isn't quite as deep and doesn't have the same kind of cover that you were hoping for. So this is a spot where one of you can stay safe or stay hidden, though it's not as deep, it's not as good cover as the tree you were just in. Eliza, and you sort of go around the edge of this shrubbery. And as you do, you see that there's a large chunk of earth that looks like it's been dug away. And there is a giant indentation in the ground that has eggs in it. And they're very big eggs. They're about as big as you are.
I would not approach the eggs. Am I able to look for a different hiding spot, or...
Yeah, so if you're not going to go forward into the middle of the eggs, it means going backwards, and you're pretty sure if you go backwards, that thing will see you.
Right.
But you are still some distance away from it.
Do I see that Eliza is having trouble finding a place to hide?
Yeah, I think that you can see that she seemed to be moving in the pretty steadily, and then she suddenly stopped.
Could I signal to her to try to take the space that I found? Eliza, over here.
So I run towards her.
I will direct her into the hiding spot that I found, and I will keep going.
that still fits under the 8 that you rolled.
Okay.
So you can trade off with her, which means that even though it's some distance away, this creature kind of sees the movement, and you're aware that you've moved some branches and caused kind of a ruckus in these leaves. So it probably has a bead on roughly where you are.
Okay, then I will try to keep moving things around further away from Eliza, just because I need to protect her. So I know this creature seems to be an herbivore. So I am not as wary or not as concerned about my own safety, because I have experience dealing with creatures in the wild. I did manage to mimic the clicking sound last time. I would like to do that again. Making sure I am a good distance away from Eliza when I do it.
Back in the truck. Bolts. Yeah, you're pretty sure that you can start this truck right now if you want to.
I'm gonna fire it up and let it start revving. And in relation to the truck, is the creature behind us or in front of us or to the sides?
The creature is somewhere behind the truck. Did they have rear view mirrors in the 1930s?
Yeah, all these pictures have no mirrors.
You had the sense that this creature was coming after you, and maybe it would even have been here by now if it was still coming after you. So yeah, like to really see where you're going, you might have to roll down the window and stick your head out as you back up.
Bolts isn't one to just like leave people to die from creatures that he thinks might eat them, because he doesn't really know. He'll throw the truck in reverse and just kind of step on it. Try and get out into the clearing to maybe circle around and try and get a better view of the situation.
If you just do it, you'll be able to back up quickly and like arrange the truck exactly how you want it arranged. Or you could roll down the window and go slowly without having to roll.
No, I'm going to just do it.
Plus steady.
Hold on to your butt. What? Just hang on, man. I'm about to get crazy. 9 plus 1 is 10.
Yeah, you actually drove one of these. Back in Europe, when you were deployed, you actually had to drive one of these a couple of times. So there is an issue sometimes where it can stick, but you know how to avoid that. And you have a good picture in your mind of exactly how you need to move this thing, and you move it well. Tell me what you're doing. Where are you moving this car to? This truck.
So I'm gonna back up real fast and come out kind of swing it out, and then I just want to start circling this field area. I'm assuming if the vehicle comes out here, it probably is equipped to handle this terrain on a regular basis. So I'm going to circle around, see if I can get a better view of like where the people that I traveled in here with are. If I can get to them safely, I want to stop in front of whomever I see first, whether it's Constance and Eliza, the Russians, or our mysterious benefactor. And I'll stop and roll the window down and yell, "Get in the back."
You have a choice. You can drive on the side of the plane where the 4 of you were. So you know that Constance and Eliza are off on this side of the airplane in the jungle somewhere. Or you can drive to the other side where the Russians and these giant creatures are.
It would make more sense to stay on the side of the plane that I'm already on. Because otherwise I'm crossing the whole field just to get over to people I can't even see. So,
Constance, Eliza has taken your spot, hidden in the shrubbery. You have made some noise, and this creature has changed direction a little bit and starting to come after you. It's doing some calls. It's making some noise. You hear the truck start, so you can still keep this creature following you, keeping its attention on you, if that is your goal.
Yes, I think I would like to keep the creature's attention away from the other people. I I mean, ideally, it is not charging at me, merely approaching, perhaps.
Now, because you successfully did this call earlier, I don't think you have to roll every time you want to do it. I think you figured out how to do it. Perhaps you have something in your background that allowed you some focus on your vocal cords at some point. You successfully make the noise.
Okay.
It turns, it looks at you, and again, it's not charging.
Mm-hmm.
It looks curious because you keep making noises. And it's kind of, and the jungle is getting a little, not quite dense, but it's dense enough for it to slow down. So even if it wanted to charge, it might not be easy.
Okay.
You are still some distance ahead. You could try to run. You could try to hide. You can, if there's the second part of your plan, now that it knows where you are, and now that you have its attention, this is a good time to do the next part.
Okay. I'm a good distance away from the other people.
Yes.
Okay, then, yes. I will do the look over there move once more. Trying perhaps to hit a tree or something, a branch. Oh, that is a critical fail. That is 2 1s. This is not good.
So you sling the stone, and it kind of ricochets off a tree. It is kind of dense around here, and draws the thing's attention right back to you.
Okay.
So it is still advancing, and it is now closer.
Okay.
And at this point, you can see that this truck has started and is now starting to drive around this clearing.
Okay, and as far as I know, Eliza is still in the underbrush.
Yep, you basically said, stay here, and then you ran off.
Okay.
Eliza, let's jump to you for a moment.
Okay.
Constance shoved you into a bush and then ran away. You could see that she was drawing the creature away from your location. And then you sort of lose sight of Constance, but you hear the truck start, and you can see it starting to drive over this through this clearing on your side of the airplane.
I would leave the bushes and start running for the truck and just kind of flailing, trying to get their attention.
How about you roll to run?
So I got a 7.
Bolts, you see this kid, who you haven't officially been introduced to yet, running out of the jungle carrying a suitcase.
I'll grab the hand klaxon here on the dash, and I'll just start wailing on it, like, come on. And I'll gesture to the back, like, get in there.
Yeah, then I run for the back of the truck. I guess climb in.
You hop up on the bumper, hoist your suitcase in the back, and you push through the canvas flap to get into the back. And when you land in the back, you can smell this sort of rot, this kind of decaying odor just sort of wash over you. And it looks like you are very safe in the back, like no one can see you, though there are 2 bodies back here. 2 human bodies in the back of this truck.
I've just traumatized a child.
But you are safe. As in, no one can see you.
Hey, children, let's get in the corpse canvas. Let's go.
I think, yeah, that's what I would do, is just start knocking or banging on the I guess mid-section of the truck and just yelling that, we gotta get Miss Constance. We have to help Miss Constance.
I guess I'll crack my window trying to see who's yelling at me. This situation, I guess more information's better information. So I'll go ahead and crack my window down just a bit, enough to, like, you can stick your fist through, but not entirely.
All right, that's enough for you two to communicate clearly.
Who is it?
Hey, Mr. Sir, we have to help Miss Constance. And also, there's some guys back here that need help too.
Well, we can't help them here. Where's Miss Constance?
I don't know. She ran away because there was a big creature, and I don't know where she is, but we have to save her.
I'm looking around constantly, trying to find where she is. Maybe just do it.
Yeah, I think that you can. That seems most appropriate.
Okay. Roll plus steady. So I rolled a 6.
So, as a doctor, this is time to help because there's probably some trouble here, and
Gotcha.
and this pleading for help from a young girl has sort of like pushed some buttons on you, and it's time to spring into action. All right, where's this lady that needs help? And so you start to lean over Bolts. Your knee knocks the truck into a different gear, and it starts to speed up pretty quickly because that's how it works.
Yes.
These are old trucks. This is a prototype.
Sure.
And it's kind of stuck, increasing in speed. The truck is soon enough going to reach the end of the airplane and then start to turn where everybody else is on the other side. Constance, you could see Eliza run out of the jungle and jump into the back of the truck.
And I would like to run as well. Now that I know she is not in immediate danger, I am now I can look to myself, and I would like to run and try to get into the truck as well. Oh, très bien. Let's see, that is 11 plus 2, that is 13. So I run, I zigzag, but I'm running so fast that I can catch up, and then I do a big long jump, like the kind of jump where it's like you're in the air but your limbs are still moving in like the same way, and then like a 3-point landing into the back of the truck.
Yeah, and what made that even more impressive is that maybe they saw you coming and started to drive away because they're starting to go kind of fast as you're running up to the truck. You kick it in gear and you leap. Eliza, Constance just flies through the back of the truck and lands on top of one of these bodies that is on the floor back here.
Oh, hello.
Miss Constance, they saved you. He did it.
I look at the body. Oh no, did I land wrong? Did I do this?
No, they were like that, but I asked one of the men in the front to save you, and they found you, but they said they couldn't help them right now. Do you think you could help?
I will examine them, or just, see. I can probably smell the death.
Well, this is a jungle. We're in the middle of the Caribbean. And because you are not a doctor, maybe you don't know exactly how long these bodies have been like this, but it's been for some time.
Eliza, would you look in the other corner of the truck? I would like to direct her toward, like, the far corner, like, so she's not looking at the bodies as I dump them out of the truck. I don't want to traumatize her any further.
Bolt's behind the wheel. You're starting to go faster.
Dang it, Doc! You knocked it into higher gear. I can't shift down, so I gotta keep speeding up. And I guess I'm coming to the back of the plane, so I guess I'll start circling around towards the other side and see what I can see as far as the other people. But I ain't gonna be able to stop to let them in or anything. So
I would like to shout to the back, "Hey kid, have you seen her yet? Seen Constance?"
Yeah, you found her for me. Thank you.
Okay.
She's in the truck.
Oh, that's even better. Thank you. I will turn over to Bolts real quick. Hey, we got the kid. We got the lady. Bolts, if you can't stop this vehicle at this point, we should just be heading north then on the road.
All right. Yeah, you're the boss.
Okay.
As you loop around the tail of the airplane, you see that there are 4 of these pretty big creatures that they have sort of cornered the Russian soldiers. in a semicircle, with the Russians have their back to the plane. But it looks like the Russians are not necessarily shooting at these creatures. It looks like they might be shooting up in the air. Looks like they might be trying to distract them by shooting off in the distance, trying to get them to change their focus. And it also, as you make this wide semicircle loop around, two of these creatures stop paying attention to the soldiers and see this truck kind of cruising around this clearing. As these two giant creatures see your truck and take a couple of steps towards you, the soldiers take advantage of the opening and just run.
Are they running towards us or away?
No, they didn't have a good direct line towards the truck. They look like they're running off towards the jungle.
Bolts, looks like everyone else has left. I think we should just be heading north at this point.
Sounds good. I will point out that the top speed of a Liberty truck is only 15 miles an hour. So.
Well, you were doing 5. This seems very... Yeah. Your shocks are not great.
I was just trying to figure out at what speed I can maybe like hit these dinosaurs and like help out, but never mind. All right. Yeah. Sounds like a good idea. And I'll start heading towards that path that we were on and start heading up.
So you're able to get on the path on this strange sandy road and start to move north. Doc, as you look back, you can see that the couple of creatures that started following you, as soon as you were out of the clearing, they lost interest.
Okay.
So they are all staying behind you. If you want to be able to stop this truck, you'll probably need to do some jury rigging while you're driving, which maybe isn't the hardest thing to do, because you knew how to start it. You could probably figure out how to slow it down now.
Sure. Well, that wasn't good. That's only a 7. It'll do the trick, but choose one. It won't last long. It'll take a while, or you have to take apart something else.
I think that to get it to slow down, you're going to have to stop this thing and then maybe like open up the gearbox, the shifter, and just make sure that it's smooth. So you would probably be fully stopped for a couple of minutes for you to take this apart and make sure it's going to work again.
Do I know that the creatures have stopped following us?
Yeah, so I'm looking out the window. I see them. I know we have Constance and the kid in the car. And the vehicle is shaking pretty badly, right?
Yes. Yeah. You do not have good shocks on this thing. Everyone is kind of bouncing around, and no seatbelts.
Bolts, buddy. Those creatures stopped a while back. I think you can slow this down a bit.
I'll just take my foot off the gas and just sort of like undo the little wiring that I did out of the under thing to just kind of make it come to a dead stop. So it's a little jerky, but...
And Constance, during this escape, you threw the bodies out the back?
I would like to do that, yes.
I think the people in the front of the truck didn't notice that after throwing the first body out, these creatures that started following you stopped to look at this body. And then you threw a second one out, and they're interested in that as well. But yeah, you've cleaned. It's the smell might be here for a little while longer.
It is very difficult to get that dead smell out of a truck, yes.
And just some minutes later, the truck comes to a stop, and you are out of peril.
Oh, what do you know? Eliza, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Are you hurt?
No.
Okay.
I'm not hurt. I was scared when that big creature followed you.
We are here now, and I suppose our next plan is to try to get away from this place.
That sounds good. I miss my mom.
Yes. I suppose we get out of the truck?
Okay.
Okay.
The truck is pulled to like a complete stop at this point. Doc would like to get out. I take the journal with me, and then I would like to go in the back and see exactly who we saved. I'm just making sure it's just the two of them and see if anyone else. I heard there were other bodies in the back.
Yeah, it looks like they are climbing out as you round the truck. And Bolts, I assume you're still in the front. You're doing...
Yeah, I assume I'm still
work
like
right now?
doing my jury rigging. So
Okay. Now that the truck has stopped, because this can be kind of a loud truck, you get the noises of the jungle again. You're hearing bugs. You're hearing some monkeys or something, some birds, as Constance and Eliza are climbing out of the back of the truck.
Hello.
Kid, madam, are you all right?
We are all right.
I'm okay.
Kid, you said there were some other people in the back?
Well, there
I-
were.
They were very dead.
Oh,
Very, very dead.
are they still in the back?
They are not in the back.
Okay, I don't really have a response to that. I was like, as long as you guys are both okay. Looking down, like, cause he was in like the mood to like help and such, but it looks like these two people are perfectly fine. The corpses are no longer a threat, and he still has the journal.
Zombies.
Oh no, zombie dinosaurs. He has the journal in his hand. Neither of you speak German, do you?
No.
No.
Unfortunate.
Meanwhile, I suppose I will try to get the lay of the land. Finally using a safety move.
Tell someone a story.
Okay, I will take Eliza, I suppose. We seem to have a bond. And just wander around where we have found ourselves. So, Eliza, we seem to be a bit lost in a place we have not been before. I know that can be very scary,
Yes.
but is it one time I was lost in the wilderness. I had been away from people for about a year. Not quite a year. It was my first winter. When I had shown up, I was so afraid, and then it seems became impossible to survive. It was cold. It was terrifying. I had given up, and I tried to find civilization again. I had left the little home that I had made, and I tried to find people, find buildings, find warmth. And I was lost. I wandered for weeks. I figured if I would go in one direction for long enough, I would find someone, and eventually I did. But at the edge of the tree line, I saw the people, I saw the buildings, I saw the call of a warm fire, but I was too afraid. I could not face people. I found that I would be more lost amongst the people than I would be in the woods, so I turned back. I was never able to find the original place where I had made my home that year. I found my way. Sometimes the wilderness is not the terrifying place. Sometimes it is civilization. So what's the land look like?
you were weaving a spell over here.
Roll plus clever.
Oh, okay. Okay, that is an 11.
The two of you have walked a little bit, not far away, but you've taken a few steps ahead of the truck. You can, as you're walking, you can see that Bolts has kind of got his head down. He's working on something in there. Take a few steps out ahead of the truck, and you sort of stop and really listen for a minute through all the noises of this jungle. And you can hear something else coming through. And it sounds sort of like rushing water. Maybe you step to the side a little and look, and it also looks like up ahead, this sandy road branches so that this main road goes straight and then it branches off to the left as well, which would be the west.
I will try to report this to my companions. There seems to be water up ahead, running water, and the road seems to branch west.
Saying that to them, Doc, inside this notebook, the map of the island, you didn't notice anything about a river or a lake or some of these, because you don't speak German, it was sort of hard to decipher some of these symbols. But now that she says there's rushing water, maybe that was what one of these marks on here was.
I look at the map, it seems to make more sense. I call Constance over. Constance, ma'am,
Oui?
are you any good with maps?
Certainly, I can try.
Okay. I show her the notebook, give her I have it flipped open directly to the map page. I don't know, you just seem to kind of know the lay of the land and such, and I thought I don't know if you could make more sense of this than me.
Well, I suppose my experience is mostly with making my own maps, so if this is a person's unique notation system, perhaps I could shed some insight.
And I think maybe the three of you sort of look it over now. Maybe with the knowledge that there is some kind of rushing water up ahead, some of these marks on here sort of fall into place like, oh, then this must mean river, which crosses the road that goes up to the beach and where the buildings are. And then maybe if this is a river, then this big circle on the end of it might be a lake or something at the end of this road that goes off to the side.
Ma'am, you mind if I leave you to that? And kid, can you come help me real quick? You're small, and I essentially want to scavenge the Liberty truck to see if there's any compartments that we may have missed on the side or underneath the canvas area, just to look for some additional supplies that aren't corpses.
Yeah, you can tell Eliza a story.
Hey, kid, Eliza, I think that's what Miss Constance called you. Come help me out. You know, I have an older brother. He fought in the Great War recently, and he was on the front lines and kind of dealt with this kind of situation. And he was always telling me how he had to load these kind of trucks up. That was his main job, one way or the other. And while it seems simple enough, loading and unloading them, there's always little bits and compartments that other soldiers forget to check, or the side panels and stuff like that. I'm just trying to see if maybe you could help me. You could like look underneath or see if there's any compartments that were missing, because like my brother said he's a short guy, shorter than me, 5'4". He would get right underneath there and find the compartments, get the panels open, and take out some extra supplies that sometimes not even the higher ups knew that they had.
Hey, I can do that, Mr. Sir. Yeah. I crawl under the truck and take a look.
Yeah, let's do instruct.
Ooh, and then with my beautiful steady, I rolled a total of 4.
Kind of looks like it'd be scary under there all by myself.
You got under there, reach up under the truck, kind of feeling around, looking for things. Something comes off, but it's probably not a big deal. Like, stuff comes off of trucks, I guess.
I'm so worried. I'm so afraid what we just put off this car.
Well, Bolts, you have this. You've taken this thing apart. You've put this thing back together, and this should work just fine.
I'm going to try starting her up again. See what happens.
Nothing happens. It doesn't turn over.
I'm going to hop out and just be like, well, the truck don't work.
And this girl crawls out from underneath it, holding on to some wires, I think.
2 questions. Who's the kid? And why is she holding the wires or that should be attached to the truck?
Well, my name is Elizabeth, but people call me Eliza, even though my mom said that's not ladylike. And this man told me to go under the truck and find things, so these are the wires that I found.
I look between the two of them. I was looking like for compartments that are like on the side, like under, not that far deep, and this is more than likely my fault. I don't think I instructed well enough.
Well, I do try not to get too angry at children. They they're very literal in the directions that they follow. So well, here I'll take those wires, kid. You probably don't need to hold on to those.
Okay.
Well, truck's dead.
I take a cigarette out and light that right on up.
I take a candy cigarette out.
Thanks very much for joining us here at RPG Anthology as we escape from Dino Island. Alex, Josh, Ty, Willow, and I appreciate you very much, and we would like to thank you. So thank you. This is the part of the episode that I'm now going to call Game Notes. This is where I give a couple of quick thoughts on the episode. It's sort of like a bonus feature. I like that idea. I am a fan of splitting the party. I think that sometimes splitting a party up for a little bit is a good way to put a spotlight on a character or give a player a quiet moment to think things through out loud if they need to do that. With this episode, the goal was to show the confusion and the panic of a plane crash and a dinosaur attack, with the players kind of scattering around and then coming back together with an escape at the end there. I like the cutting back and forth kind of quickly, and I think that's a fun way to do splitting a party. Problem with splitting a party sometimes is that players can just sort of sit there for a while and feel like they are out of it. But hopefully, with this listening style of splitting the party, the quick cutting back and forth means that all of the characters are sort of present for you, the listener. Hopefully that worked out for you. And thank you again. And if you are interested in liking the Actual Story Podcasting Facebook page or in leaving a review on your podcatcher of choice, we would be very grateful and would encourage you to do both of those things. All right. Thanks again. I'll see you next week.